Hey guys, it's Lewis from Recycle Bicycle Sales here. In today's video, we're going to give you 5 more reasons why your bike might feel slow. This is actually a part 2 video. We did a different video about a month ago with 5 reasons why your bike might feel slow, and it seems like it was pretty well received. So now we're doing 5 more reasons why your bike might feel slow. So if you haven't watched the previous one, go and check that out. So let's just imagine you're riding along and you think you're putting in so much more effort than what the bike is giving you back. You think you're trying so hard and the bike's just not going as fast as you want. Or maybe you think you're struggling to keep up with your buddies. So we're giving you 5 ways that you might make your bike be able to feel a little bit faster. The first reason could be something to do with your cycling clothing. Maybe you've lost heaps of weight and you're still using the same jersey that you were using when you were a little bit bigger. If you've lost a bit of weight, it means it's now going to be flapping around a little bit, and it's like you're riding along with a big parachute. So maybe getting a jersey that fits you a little bit better might be something worth looking into. Or even more extreme, maybe you've just been riding in a normal t-shirt for a while and you haven't gone across to one of these lycra shirts. I know it might seem like it's not a big deal, but moving across to a proper lycra jersey really is a big deal. It's going to help you cut through the wind so much easier. Things like this shirt has a collar and the collar's going to flap around in the wind, or even just under here, it's able to flap around quite a bit. Whereas when we've got one of these lycra shirts, it really tucks in on you properly, and you've got pockets on the back. So instead of having to have stuff stuffed into your pockets on your shorts, you're able to fit it into the back pockets on your jersey. So that can make it a little bit easier to go faster as well. If you wanted to go even more depth into jerseys, there's actually heaps of different types. You can look at racing jerseys, or you can look at more comfortable sort of Gran Fondo type jerseys, I suppose. The racing jerseys are good because they're a really tight fit and they'll, cut in where they need to so that you're going to be as aerodynamic as you can be. The trade-off is maybe they're not quite as comfortable, or they don't let your sort of stomach poke out a little bit if you're full of food or full of water, but it'll help you get that more aerodynamic feel. So trying out some different jerseys might help you go a little bit faster. And even just the mental aspect of look good, feel good. If you're wearing some cool looking clothes, you might feel like you go a little bit faster. And if you're feeling good while you're on the bike, that might help you ride a little bit better as well. Another reason your bike might feel slow is maybe you've just got too much weight on there. Sometimes there's lots of things that we need to carry when we're on the bike, like maybe a repair kit or some food or something like that. But you might be carrying even some just unnecessary things. Maybe you've got 3 spare tubes and a spare tire. Yes, all of these things could go wrong in a bike ride. I don't know about you, if I got 3 flat tires in a bike ride, I'm in such a bad mood that I am getting an Uber home. I don't even want to keep riding, I'm so frustrated. So I would only carry 1, maybe 2 tubes. Because if I had a really big saddlebag full of all these different things in there and all my car keys, and I'm not going to be driving my car so I don't need my car keys, you might stuff everything in the back of your saddlebag, even the kitchen sink. So maybe you're just simply carrying too many things on the bike. Also, in regards to weight, we could just talk about the wheel and the tire and the whole sort of circle area down there. Maybe you're running some heavy, cheap aluminium wheels. If we moved across to carbon fiber, they'll be quite a bit lighter. Even maybe you could go to some more high-end racing tires or some lighter weight tubes. What we'll find with the wheels is when you upgrade the wheels, that will make the biggest difference to the way that the bike's going to feel. If you go from a heavy wheel up to a lightweight wheel, it'll be easier to speed up and easier to slow down, easier to start and stop that inertia. So that might be a really good upgrade worth looking at. But it's worth noting, this could be one of the most costly upgrades that you do when we're talking about your bicycle. Another way we can save weight is maybe you're doing a Strava KOM effort and you're trying to get up the hill as fast as you can, and it's a short 10-minute climb or so. If you're using 2 500 milliliter water bottles, that's a kilo of water. That's gonna add a whole kilo to your bike. Cyclists would kill to save a kilo on their bike. So it might be worth, just for that Strava segment, you could leave a water bottle at the bottom of the climb, or you could maybe just squeeze some of the water out of it. Obviously, yes, we still need to drink water and you need to carry water on your bike, but all I'm saying is for that short Strava segment, you might just want to dump that water. Another reason you're feeling slow might just be because you're tired. Maybe you went to bed really late last night and had to get up at 4 AM to get onto the group ride this morning. That's going to be a little bit difficult. Our bodies really do need to sleep. It's actually incredibly important that we drink water and that we sleep well. They're kind of like the 2 most important things in life. So making sure that you're getting lots of rest is really important. You might be overworking your body. If you're running low on sleep, you might struggle to perform the next day. This might not just be to do with sleep. It could be the fact that you had a really hard gym session the day before, or maybe you had a really stressful day and you dealt with a lot of difficulty through the workplace. The stress and strain and everything along those lines can sort of hurt your body a little bit. So Yes, it's important that we do all these things and we go to the gym and we eat healthy and that sort of thing, but it's also important that we let our body recover. And I can tell you from personal experience with the Whoop, it's telling me that I'm never recovering enough. As well as feeling tired, maybe you did an 8-hour bike ride yesterday and forgot to put on sunscreen and you might be a little bit sunburned. That's gonna make it a bit difficult to go just as fast again today too. Another thing that could make the bike feel slow is just having worn out components on your bike. Things like the drivetrain, the chain, the cassette, that sort of thing, things in the drivetrain. Or it might even be that your tires are worn out, and since they're so dry, they're not able to grip the road that they normally would. Or maybe your tires are worn out or dry and cracking and they're not gripping the road the way that they're designed to be. Having worn out components might not necessarily slow the bike down as such, but it might make it difficult for the bike to perform the way that it should. Maybe as you're speeding up and you want to change to a harder gear, it might be slow to change across, or maybe it's skipping and it's not letting you actually put power down in that gear. So that might make the bike feel a little bit slower. A lot of these parts are consumables. Things like the tires, we expect that we're going to wear through them eventually. The chain, again, we expect that we're going to wear through it eventually. The cassette and the chain rings will also wear through them, but they will take a bit longer. So hopefully a lot of these different parts, we can just keep an eye on throughout the life of the bike. Maybe when you take it into the local bike shop for regular servicing, you can just ask them, hey, by the way, how are my tires looking? Or can you let me know how my chain's looking? Staying on top of the consumables like this can help just be a preventative measure to help the whole bike perform the way that it should. Another reason that the bike might feel slow is poor gear selection or cadence. I'm going to put them into the same category here. What I mean by this is if we're riding up the hill, if you're sitting in a really hard gear and you're pedaling really slowly, you're using a lot of power and a lot of the anaerobic body system. If you're able to drop a couple of gears and go to an easier gear and have a faster cadence, you'll find that you're using more of your aerobic system, which is more of your respiratory system. So it's more about your breathing rather than just simply how strong your legs are. So that's going to help to make the whole bike ride feel so much easier. Not only is it going to save you on that climb and make it a bit easier, it also means that throughout the rest of the ride, you're not going to be burnt out, I suppose. We can compare cadence in cycling a little bit across to running as well. If we're doing a sprint and we're trying to get up a really steep hill on our bike and we're in a really hard gear, that's kind of like we're trying to sprint a marathon, which you don't want to do. You want to sort of slow down your cadence so you can go for a longer run. And then sort of same the opposite way. If you're pedaling incredibly quickly and you're going along the flat, you might be a little bit more efficient if you went into a harder gear so that you're able to keep a nice smooth cadence. For what it's worth, when we're going uphill, a lot of people might sit at sort of 70 cadence, give or take, 70 RPM, revolutions per minute. Whereas when we're going down along the beach, along the flat, you might be sitting up more like 90. So RPM is revolutions per minute. That means how many revolutions is the crankset or your foot gonna do per minute. By the way, your bike's probably got about 20 gears. That's a lot of different gears to pick from. So if you're going uphill, downhill, or something in between, hopefully you've got lots of different ratios that you can pick. So you can play around with your cadence all throughout the bike ride. Try and use all the different gears. When we're getting into cycling, when you see someone pedaling along, you can almost sort of tell by the type of cadence they're using in different times throughout their bike ride if they're new to cycling. A lot of the time, if I'm riding up the hill and I overtake someone who's grinding in a really hard gear, they're probably a little bit new to cycling. So I'm not trying to say that you're like a noob or a rookie, but it's one of the things that you sort of do need to learn throughout cycling. It doesn't just come naturally. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you've learned a couple of different tips here about how you might be able to make your bike feel a little bit faster when you're out riding, because at the moment it might be feeling a little bit slow. We spoke about 5 top tips here in this video, and we spoke about 5 more in a previous video as well. If you reckon there's anything that we've missed, or maybe something that you've changed on your bike, or even just a mental barrier that you broke through, let us know in the comments below. I'd love to hear all that stuff. Otherwise, I'm going to say thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. See you guys.